Want to fly, but you don't have a real ID or passport? There could be another option soon. The TSA is considering a new alternative verification system, which would use biometrics to confirm a person's identity. Airline passengers without a real ID would have to pay an $18 fee, which would be good for 10 days of travel. At the airport, those passengers would then go to the biometric kiosks before going through security at the checkpoint. If you
Okay, Shalom, Shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoimla, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Chaha, Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to all the H.I.M and H.I.M that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawach. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And, hey, shit getting there, man. That Revelation 13:16, he talking about biometrics and real IDs. And, you know, it's pretty much just squeezing the people into a corner, basically. There won't be no more options. Pretty soon is the only option that you're going to have is come and let us chip your ass, or you won't be able to move throughout society or, you know, even do anything in society. You'll just be an outcast, so to speak. And this is what is moving on. They're really squeezing people out, you know. So it's going to come a point where you're going to make a decision. You're going to have to make a decision. Everyone is going to go through this test. You know, we're praying to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, you know, for that spirit of endurance, that spirit to endure and to be like, fuck y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? It's coming to that point, man. It's really getting there. There's a lot of stuff that's going on where this thing is moving pretty fast. So I'm assuming with the real ID, which I'm going to read through some of this, you know, I can remember just before when COV-19 went down. That's when they was talking about it before here in Michigan. And they kind of had to fall back on it because of COV-19. So it kind of held it up. I can remember that. But, you know, of course, you know, things have gone through. I don't do no flying like that. Don't give a fuck about no flying. Not trying to leave the country. I figure anywhere in the U.S., if I don't have time to fucking drive there, then fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that serious for me. And see, they do stuff like this, too, because they know people want to, you know, get out here and holiday trip. You know what I'm saying? It's Thanksgiving coming up. You know, you got your fucking Christmas coming around. New Year's, you know, people like to fly and go ahead and get those quick trips in. And they actually just had the government shutdown, which kind of play, I think, you know, because we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, which let me get that real quick, because it you know, that plays into that impatientness of these people. Because, you know, Americans are very impatient. They're pretty instant. They want everything microwaved. You know what I'm saying? You see how they act when they go through a drive-through and it's taking them, you know, too long to give them their fucking number one combo. They acting a damn fool. They going on the inside. They jumping the counter. They doing all these different things, acting like, you know, kids that's throwing a tantrum, because the people here have been spoiled into, I want everything instant. I want everything instant. And that's Esau, you know. That's the spirit of Esau. You have to remember, this is the guy that couldn't wait on the food to be cooked, you know, which sold his birthright, you know, for, you know, that pottage, man. This is Esau. This is his kingdom. Everything is microwaved. You know what he got to have it. He need that shit now. He can't wait. He's very impatient. And just like how the pretty much your leaders are, Scripture talks about that, how your leaders, the way that your leaders are, that's pretty much how the citizens are. It comes from the top down, so to speak, right? So, but this is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, right? So we're not ignorant of the fact that he's going to use your impatience, because he has created that impatience within the people. That's why, let me get this real quick. 2 Timothy chapter 3, it talks about incontinence, godliness in the last days, right? 2 Timothy chapter 3, let me get verse 1. It says, "This know also, that in the last days perilous times shall come. And a part of that perilous times, that's going to come as well. I mean, hey, you got a whole list of things right here. But let me just get this word incontinent right here. In verse 3, it says, people are going to be without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontinent. That's the word I want to focus on right there. Fierce despisers of those that are good. So when you get this word incontinent, G193, and it goes off into powerless, that is without self-control. So Esau, he is pretty much, he has people in a powerless mind state. It's not that they don't have the power. It's just that they don't have the mind state to really use it, because this is what he's done to the people. He has trained, he has programmed the people to be impatient. So going through a checkpoint at a all these people want to do is be able to walk through. All that winding me down, and you know what I'm saying? It's taking me, all this time to get on these planes. It's taking me all this time to get through these checkpoints. You're searching my bags. All that shit. The people, if they can make it easier for these people to just flow on through, like how they can just get into their car and get on the road and get on a freeway. That's why the reason why you have freeways or highways. 70 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour. People, 90, it's not enough. If the speed limit is 70 miles an hour, you best believe people are doing 85 to 90 easy. Some doing better, more than that. But Esau, he came up with those highways. Why? To make it so-called more convenient for you to have something quicker. And that's what this is all going off into. He's going to bring it to you as if it's a convenience. It's going to make things better. It's going to make your life move smoother. In the meanwhile, you're losing all your liberties. So let's go back, because maybe they got a little bit. I want to get a little bit more information. Let's slow this shit down from what she said. It says, if you don't have a real ID, the next time you fly, it could cost you. The Transportation Security Administration has proposed a rule that would charge travelers who lack a real ID an $18 fee at security checkpoints, according to the notice published Thursday in the Federal Register. Now, the apostle used this, the beloved apostle Tahar, he uses this illustration all the time. Now, if you live in New York, I lived there for, I don't know, almost 10 years. But they got what they call an easy pass, right? So when you're coming through, if you're going back and forth to work every day, I'm not sure what an easy pass costs now, or, what the tolls would cost. But if you hitting each one of these tolls, and every day that you're coming through there, you're spending X amounts of money, when they're telling you, okay, well, get this easy pass. If you get this easy pass, you can just blow right through, and it's cheaper. You're going to save money, right? So this is the same thing with this $18, so to speak. Who's going to want to spend an extra $18? People don't even want to spend the extra money to check on the extra bag, So to avoid that, it's just, they probably going to lean more towards, all right, fuck it, let me just go for it. Let me say this $18, but let's see what it entails, though. The notice serves as a next step in the process in real ID compliance. See the word compliance? Why do you need to comply with this? What's so wrong with the other ID? And then eventually they're going to get rid of that passport and all that shit too, because passports is an option as well. But the passports got chips in them. You know what I'm saying? So to speak, the newer ones do anyway. But they're going to get rid of all that physical shit. All that physical shit is about to go. Because again, the word to focus on here is compliance. Let me see here. Okay. See if I can, compliance, the action or fact of complying with a wish or command. And this is not a wish. This is going to be a damn a command. It says compliance. So now obedience to, see, that's what this is all boiling down to, man. Obedience. It says, okay, this notice serves as a next step in the process of real ID compliance, which was signed into law more than 20 years ago. This is how long ago this been. So now they're about to really buckle down, and finally implemented by Secretary Nome as of May 2025. Isn't this a part of Trump's crew, right? This is Trump's crew. Aren't they all into the digital shit? Then he just signed an executive order a month or so back, 2 months, maybe going on 3 months, with RFK Jr. talking about digitalizing all your medical information, putting all your medical information on, this, it's all digital. Everything can go onto your real ID. Basically will be on your phone. Now you got Apple, which is an American company, that's talking about ID, real IDs or wallet IDs or whatever they're calling that shit, with all your information on it. Because everywhere that phone go, now they know where you've been. People putting, you putting your damn card information on them bitches, but this shit gonna have everything on it. But then they're gonna get rid of all the physical stuff and they're gonna basically put that shit within you, man. They talking about this more and more now, right? And Secretary Noem, she a part of that team with Trump. All the billionaires that was surrounding Trump during his presidency. Palantir, your Peter Thiels, your PayPal guy, your Mark Zuckerbergs, all these billionaires that own all the tech companies, all these Silicon Valley guys. Oh, all that they circling all that shit right now like vultures right now. So it's not gonna be no getting away from it. It's either you're gonna go for it or you're not, right? And it's gonna be a hard test because a lot of people are, glued to these phones. It's hard for them to get away from these phones. Matter of fact, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I did get one text today. Nope, I got 2 texts today. I got a text from one of my nephews. I ain't heard from him in I don't know about 6 months, which I texted him back and he didn't even text me back. And I got one text from a damn coupon that I get from damn kind of fucking store is that? It's a store, but it's a coupon. I forgot I had signed up for it. You know what I'm saying? To get the, little notifications for certain shit. But that's the only text I got today. Yesterday, I got the text from that store. The day before that, I got a text from that store. The day before that, I got a text from that store. I think I might have spoke to the beloved brother Allah a few days back before that. But that's it. I don't get no calls. I don't get no texts on my phone like that. Only thing I get is I'm doing these lessons and I'm uploading to the tube. That's it. That's it. I don't really socialize like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know a few people and a few people only, but I don't use my phone like that. People know that I'm not a phone person like that. So when it's time to put this bitch down, I ain't gonna have no problems with it. When that famine of the word come, I'm not gonna have no problems with it. It's a done deal. I don't have to go back up, go on the highways and byways no more. I don't have to do any more lessons. That's gonna be it. And I'm not gonna have no problems tossing the phone to the side. It's not gonna be, all up in my, all in my damn hand and I'm looking down every moment, man. Anyway, let's get a little bit more of this article. Because this, I'm telling you, man, this shit is, they're really about to go hard with this. Okay, it says TSA is working with stakeholders and partners to ensure both security and efficiency at our checkpoints. Who the fuck are the stakeholders and who the fuck are the partners? That says a lot in itself. All you trying to do is fly somewhere. Hey, I have my ID, my state ID. I can bring my birth certificate along, which will be a hassle. I got a social security card, which would be a hassle. You know what I'm saying? But I got those things already. So what's this thing what you wanting, to make everything digital so badly? Oh, we're getting rid of paper. I can remember, matter of fact, it's certain companies that'll charge you, I think, what's that? I'm with an insurance company. Well, basically, that's any company now. If they have to send you a paper bill in a mail, if they got to use paper, they charge you more for that. But I was dealing with this insurance company where they charge, I think, an extra. You can save $10 on your bill each month if you just go wireless. I remember that. That was years back. That's been a while back because they've been working on this for a good time now, man. Okay, it says embracing biometrics, which I'm not embracing none of that shit. Fuck out of here. The TSA is launching a biometric identity verification program at its checkpoints to screen individuals who don't have a real ID or other suitable alternative form of identification, such as a passport, right? I mean, if the push came to shove, if anything out of this, I would just get that passport if I had to really do something. Alternative ID verification methods are time and resource intensive. See, this is what they're trying to tell you. They're trying to tell you it takes too much time. No, I don't have no problems, bro. I'm patient. That's one of the gifts of the spirit. One of the gifts of the spirit is to be patient. But you're dealing with a bunch of damn demons, man, in this place. But it says, alternative ID verification methods are time and resource intensive, that TSA said in proposing the fee. To address the government incurred costs, individuals who choose to use TSA's modernized alternative identity verification program will be required to pay an $18 fee, the agency proposed rule states. Verifying people's identity at the nation's airports is the first step in physical screening process at the TSA security checkpoint and the last link in intelligence-based traveler pre-screening, ensuring that high-risk travelers are identified. See, the proposal states. So basically, a lot of people going to go for, well, it's going to make us safe. We had the Unabomber back in the day. We had the nigga had the bomb in his motherfucking in his briefs. Then you had the 9/11 shit. They scared the shit out of people with that shit, But they're basically, you had to keep everybody safe. Now, mind you, they over in the UK, supposedly, you can't even really get. I don't think you can get it. I'm not sure if it's as of yet, but supposedly you're not going to be able to get into the country over there if you're trying to travel that way. If you don't comply and have these particular things, man. So you can get stuck somewhere, or they're going to spin your ass back around. Or they could have you just stuck in one of them border spots, man. Okay, but it says, let me see. Let's get with this. The TSA said the biometric verification, which it also refers to as Registered Traveler Program. See, they give you that, they got to give you a sweet name for it, because biometrics sound real nasty work. Will streamline the process of identifying passengers. Passengers will start incurring the $18 fee when the TSA announces that individuals may register for the Alternative Identity Verification Program at TSA.gov. Daniel Green, co-founder of Fay Travel Insurance, thinks the fee proposal is reasonable, given that travelers have had ample time to obtain a real ID. See? And it's no different than your ID. Other than, I guess, you can, be on your phone, but that's what they're trying to do. They want to bring everything in, where all your little physical papers, all that little shit, all that shit becomes obsolete. And it's only so long. See, a lot of people have been fighting it. So now they're putting a squeeze on. That's the thing. Like, that scripture says again, for we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. We're not ignorant of his schemes. It didn't work, like how he planned on it to work. So now he has to push it in a way where he's going to get a lot more aggressive. And that's what's coming down the pipe with Revelation 13:16 as well. Because people are not going to go for that shit. They're going to aggressively push that shit. Then they're just going to push you out of the system. They're going to push you out into the world of your own. And you're not going to be able to buy anything, your groceries, let me get it. Revelation 13:16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? So this physical, biometric, all this shit that they talking about, all that stuff is about to go. Your phone is about to go. Ain't gonna be no more that I'm gonna tap my phone. No, they're gonna go from that shit to the next level of putting this shit in you. And that can happen at any point in the game because they're moving very quickly. That Revelation 12:12, it talks about how Esau is gonna come down with great wrath because he knows that he had but a short time. So they're moving fast on this now. Right? Let me get verse 16 again. Revelation 13:16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor. See? Small and great, rich and poor. All these people, can catch an airplane. People might be poor. Matter of fact, it's crazy because what was they? They was talking about motherfuckers getting Christmas fucking airplane tickets for Christmas because of the economy. Just crazy shit, bro. I remember hearing that on the radio the other day when they was talking about, and people was talking about, they just wasn't going to travel. Basically they were just going to chill, because it's, the economy sucks right now. They, can afford it really like that. And as a Christmas gift, you can get a generally a motherfucker might get a PlayStation or a watch or a necklace or a ring or whatever the case may be. Here you go. You got motherfuckers offering to give you basically a damn gift card with a fucking plane ticket because you can't afford to fly nowhere anyway. Anyway, let's get back to it. Revelation 13:16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. Salakia came out of it. Here is wisdom. Verse 18 again. Here is wisdom. Let him, Revelation 13:18, Salakia. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 606 score. 603 score, Salakia. But basically, hey, you're not gonna be able to communicate in public, man. You're not gonna be able to go and do your shopping, grocery shopping. You're not gonna be able to get plates for a car or get car insurance or to even have a car. You're not gonna be able to get gas for a car. It's gonna be a lot of black market shit going on, a lot of crime gonna go through the roof. But this is why they have their militaries, pretty much set up and things like that, man. So it's gonna be a lot of shit going on. We'll see the changes when it all goes down the pipe, but it's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna come up against this system, because there's a lot of Edomites, a lot of so-called white people. They like, nah, fuck that. It's a lot of these so-called white people. They know that this is the mark of the beast, and you got Hebrew Israelite camps that study the Bible every day, supposedly, and telling you that it's not this digital system that they're bringing down the pipe, man. They're telling you that this mark of the beast, what they're talking about is Christianity and a bunch of other stupid shit. Like, how the fuck you go into the store and buy something as a Christian? Oh yeah, I'm a Christian. Let me get a pint of Hennessy. Like, what the fuck is you talking about, man? It's ridiculous, man. And these guys are gonna have to answer, man. Anyway, let's go back into the article. Let's see what else they got. We'll end out. They want to keep it long. Okay, so it says, Daniel Green, co-founder of Fay Travel Insurance, thinks the fee proposal is reasonable given that the travelers have had ample time to obtain a real ID. For years, they've been saying either get a real ID or a passport or don't travel, he told CBS News. So the idea that you can pay $18 and potentially travel anyway isn't so unreasonable. Well, if I had to just, whatever, fuck that real ID. I would either get that passport, which I wouldn't because I wouldn't be traveling that much. But if I had to just do something, which, I had a passport, you know what I'm saying, before. I've been let that shit expire. That's been a long time ago. Took a little while to get one unless you had it expedited, if you was trying to make a move real quick. But, that, process of going to get a picture and, the fees, I forgot what I even paid for it at the time. I know it was more for an expedited one because I needed one quicker. But, I wouldn't go through none of that, all that. I'll give these motherfuckers that make $18 and be like, fuck it if that's all you asking for. Now, if you asking for something other than that, let's see what else they say in here. Okay, it says, check your driver's license bureau. The TSA began requiring passengers to present a real ID or other approval documents in May. The enhanced form of the identification can either be a driver's license, learner's permit, or non-driver's ID card. So a regular ID card, like what the fuck is, no, that difference in it don't look much different to me, but I don't know, who knows. I guess I can remember going to the casino one time, and the driver's license, the license that we have, and I done had the same motherfucker shit. Matter of fact, I didn't even have to go and retake a picture, so I kind of had the same thing for maybe like 8 years. But it's been a while. This shit been a long time ago. I can remember going to the casino, and they will put your license up to against a machine or a light or whatever the case may be, and it will automatically kind of almost check in, so to speak. So the regular driver's license, wasn't nothing wrong with that, because it will automatically check in with the state, so to speak, and pretty much they could tell right off if it was real or not. They weren't bullshitting around about that. You don't want to. The last thing you want to do is go into. It's not like trying to get into a damn bar with a fake ID. They're just gonna turn your ass around. You go to a casino trying to use a fake ID, they'll hold your shit. They'll hold you there. Police is not that far away. This guy's trying to get in here with a fake ID, this, and this. But I remember you give your ID to the security, and they put it underneath this machine, and you're good. So it's nothing wrong with what they had already. This is just that next step into what Esau's trying to do as far as this digital form, man. He's trying to get everybody to comply. Okay, so it says, the fact that TSA is floating an identity verification fee suggests things are tightening. See? Yeah, of course it's tightening because they coming down with great wrath, said Sarah Silbert, a strategist at Flight Search Engine Points Path. If you haven't updated your ID yet, it's smart to take care of it soon, especially with peak travel season, adding extra stress for everyone. See? Requirements vary by state, so the TSA advises people to check their state's driver's license bureau website to see the documentation is required to obtain a real ID. I know, hey, I mean, again, if you got to do it, I mean, it's not like it's not the mark of the beast. So don't be tripping on that. I just try and as less as possible with this bullshit. If I have to do, I'm doing the least. Fuck out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I really got to get down and do some of this shit, you just got to do what you got to do. It's just like when COV19 went down. You know, you had to wear the damn mask. You had to do the 6 feet with the bullshit. You know, because I went through that process of getting the religious exemption. You know, just prayed to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Told them, hey, you know, I actually wrote my shit out with some scriptures. You know what I'm saying? I prayed to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai for the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? And put it through, and it went through. But guess what? All those other people at my job, they've been sickly ever since. And matter of fact, a whole bunch of people passed away. I was just with this Edomite today, or Shedamite. Her partner was off today, so I had to help her ass out, and she always sickly. Matter of fact, she left there earlier today and shit, talking about, I gotta go and get some, going to Walmart, get some for my cough. You know, just been sickly ever since she took that shit, man. She in the damn vehicle with me. I wasn't tripping, you know what I'm saying, because I got faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, but still, you know, I don't want to be around no fucking body like that, your ass, whatever. Ain't no telling what's going on with you. But she took that shit, and I can remember her saying, they made me take it. I'm like, no, they didn't make you take it. You didn't have no faith. You took that shit on your own. Some people didn't pin you down and make you take that shit. Now, all of a sudden, you know, everything was a damn lie. Everything went through was what that was told to the people wasn't really what it was. And supposedly, you know, you got 20 or 30 million people that's unalive right now because of that shit. So what did they do? They pushed and they pressed. They pushed and they pressed. Just like they're pushing and they're pressing with this ID shit. Trying to make it seem as if, you know, this is going to make everything better. This is going to make everything speed up. Look, I'm not going to the airport. Fuck Thanksgiving. I don't need to go anywhere for Christmas fucking holidays. Fuck all that shit. I'll be right here at my house. Eating some shit that ain't got nothing to do with the holidays. I'm not fronting like you can't go get you a plate. You want to go and get you a Thanksgiving plate. You want to go get you a mama and them cook, big mama and them cook. You know what I'm saying? As long as they ain't got no chitlins on it, but motherfucker, you want to eat, go eat. That's what some of the brothers is going into as of this week too. When I think I'm trying to think, who was it? One of these doofy ass Israelite camps and shit talking about Paul teaching idolatry, because he was talking about the going to the shambles as far as like if you're eating, if somebody inviting you to eat, you know, basically we know that the Lord created everything, but you may have a weaker minded Israelite that's just coming into the truth, so you wouldn't eat it for his sakes type of deal, you know, to not, you know, I had to go into it. It's a whole nother lesson, but you eat what's lawful. You pray over it. You know what I'm saying? Now, if a guy's sitting there and he praises his God, he says, oh, to my power, this, and this, then, you know, you don't eat it for conscience sake. You know what I'm saying? For the conscience of that person as well, roughly paraphrasing. But it's just food. If the Lord's saying, you know, I can eat, you know, fish with scales on, you know, fins and scales, and I'm going to some person's house and they got fucking lawful fish with fins and scales on it, and I'm just eating fish, I know that the Lord created it, even though this motherfucker might be a Muslim. You know? Fuck your Muslim God, nigga. Your God is one of these niggas a fucking idol anyway. But, you know, that's another lesson. But anyway, that's me just speaking in the spirit. Got to be for somebody. But anyway, hey, you know, not dealing with no damn traveling, man. Fuck Esau, man. And none of this shit is worth getting out here doing none of that stupid shit for. But people are going to get caught up into that stuff. Why? Because they want to party. They want that mirth that's gone. They want to try and make it seem as if everything is normal. And it's not. This shit is not normal. You're not living in a normal world right now. We're living in the end days, man. We're living in a time where all this shit is about to fold. And this is a part of one of the major prophecies that's coming to pass, man. This mark of the beast, man. So I'm going to end out there. I seen this shit. And they're trying to put the squeeze, man. This is what's happening. They want to squeeze you. They want to make it seem like, give me $18 and I'm going to put you through a bunch of bullshit to get you through the line. In the meanwhile, look at those people over there. They're just walking through. That's how Esau gets down. Look at that. Those people, they're just juggling on through. Look at them. They're already, and then everybody else looking at you like you holding up the line. You're holding up the flight. All you have to do is get a real ID. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You see what I'm saying? So it's going to be a lot of pushback, though, because like I said again, hey, these Edomites, they going to be, it's going to be Egyptian against the Egyptians soon, man. Civil war is going to jump off because, see, these Edomites, they're sick and tired of what they call freedoms being taken away. Because when they get to start being treated like niggas, that's what's happening to them now. They're starting to be treated like, you know, like niggas, pretty much like they're on equal footing with niggas, or they hate that. You're treating me like a nigger. Matter of fact, I was at the Edomite. If you've ever seen this video, I'm sure it's online. Classic. Edomite on the damn floor. You know what I'm saying? The cops had his ass all down on the floor and shit. He was like, "You're treating me like a nigger." In the airport. So that's spiritual, man. Anyway, I'm gonna end out there with that, man. Just know, hey, we almost there, man. So with that, pray that this lesson is edifying. Kwam Yashala and the Bible Ball.